Hello everyone, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. I'm here a little bit later than usual with project shares from the month of April, so let's switch the camera and go ahead and check out what I've got. It's quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to try and get through this without taking up too much of your time or my time because I've had a very busy few weeks here, both with fun stuff and with work stuff, so let's go ahead and dive into the layouts that I made, and then we'll get to that big stack of cards in a minute. A lot of these layouts probably have videos up already, and you can go look at my backlog of videos if you want to see more on any of these. This one definitely has a video up where I did some watercolor resist technique, so you can see the pattern paper behind where I added watercolor on top of, so that was really that layout. I did a layout, double page layout for Calvin Ball, and if you don't know what Calvin Ball is, it's a totally free scrapbooking challenge or crafting challenge in general, really, where there are wild rules. They change on a regular basis. You add up the things you've used on your projects to get some points, and then somebody wins in the end. And it's all for the honor and glory of it. It's just a silly project. So I will leave you a link to Calvin Ball if you want to know more, but with this one I had gotten about 50 points because I'd used various things, so like banners, polka dots, wood veneer, stars, gold, so things like that are the kinds of points you get during Calvin Ball. I'm pretty sure I got a video up on this one, so if you want to know more, you can check that out. Pretty sure I have a video up on this one as well. Pardon my notes, because I use these notes to know where to put them away when I'm done with my layouts. And this was a layout where I didn't have a picture of any people, but I had some evidence of my teenager and her friend on a camping trip, and this was something fun that they had left in the car, counting up some of the random things they had seen along the way. And so I turned that into a scrapbook layout, and this was part of my Mystery Box Make series, so that was a live stream that definitely has a video up. This one was a layout I did as part of the design team over at the Counterfeit Kit Challenge, and we were using a sketch with a nice big heart. This one was another Calvin Ball layout, and this was a project that I had started back in the summer, and it had been sitting in one of my project folders, and so I pulled it out and finished it because in Calvin Ball that was worth a point. So, you know, it's pretty silly, but one little point helps motivate finishing up a whole layout. That's a good reason to do a silly game. All right, let's go ahead and look at these cards. These three cards were part of a Concord and Ninth kit release, including their brand new colors. I am recording this before the colors are actually released live to the public, but that will go live on April 9th, and you can get their brand new colors. So this swatch features all of the brand new colors, plus this one I believe is Watermelon, which is an existing color. So we've got Berry Bliss, Fig is existing, we've got Aster, Bluebell, Capri, Surfside, I believe, and I feel like I'm forgetting one. Let's see. This one has them all. I'm not sure. At any rate, brand new colors are coming, and I am in love with Bluebell and Capri, and Aster actually, because these are all gorgeous colors that fit very nicely into my collection of colors. They fill in gaps, so I'm loving those. These were cards that I created on my channel with my monthly Altenew Mini Delight kit, and I had so much fun. This one I really went crazy and like altered up a whole bunch of stuff to make it something completely different, but this is more true to what the kit included, which is this little planter box and some stamping, and that was just using a different stamp with a different style. In April, no, sorry, not April, March. In March, there was the SBC Fest hosted by scrapbook.com, and I've completed one project so far. I do have the tabs open so I can go back and keep working, but this was, I think these were just extra little things that I used from another project. Memories, which is why I scrapbook, because my memory's bad. At any rate, lots of card making has been happening here, especially since we also had, I, and about 2,000 of my closest friends were part of the Crop and Create delivered at-home virtual card making. You get a whole kit of supplies so that you can use exactly the same supplies to craft along to the event. But, of course, you are always welcome to mix and match with your own supplies or make up your own ideas. So this was Simon Hurley's class, and we used a lot of texture paste, and this class included the texture paste, the ink, and this cute little crocodile, or as my middle kid used to say, crocagator, this little crocagator stamp to create some birthday cards. So that was fun and cute, and I know who some of those are going to. Speaking of cards going to people, I've already sent out a few cards, so I will pop up a couple of pictures here on screen to represent those cards that have already gone out into the mail. They were a few Easter cards. These cards were from Pink and Main, and they were taught by Libby Hickson, and the main set included a window frame die and some florals. So you can see how we've used the window frame die in a couple of different ways, including with the florals, and we created a cool slider surprise card, which I've never done before, so that was really fun. Enjoyed it a lot, and I love the window frame die. All right, moving on with the Crop and Create delivered card making events. This was taught by Mindy Egan for Pretty Pink Posh, and we had a lovely birthday set, and she went with a lot of pinks, but I changed up to the cards to be less pink because I don't know as many pink people to send out cards to, but the kit included some of the really super fun clay embellishments from Pretty Pink Posh, which I'm newer to them, so it's nice to play with products that I wouldn't ordinarily play with, so that's fun. These cards are from Hero Arts, and I believe their products was this whole Loch Ness Monster theme set of supplies, and those are being released. Either they already have been or they're coming really soon, maybe in May. So these are super cute. Oh my gosh, I just loved having such a different imagery to a lot of the card making products that are on the market. So fun. And then it's also great for, kiddos or grown-ups who appreciate more of the fun side of life. Super, super cute. This guy is saying hello to his little boat friend. And then they also have a stamp set that has a few imagery to go along with, and then lots of the sentiments. So fun class. I loved that one. That was one of my favorites. We did a lot of inky techniques with that one as well. There was a Gina K class taught by Gina herself and using her products. It was a sympathy-based class, and I made one sympathy card, but I changed up the color scheme a little bit to bring in my own soft take on color. So I don't know how much the camera's going to pick it up, but I did various kind of rainbow ink blending and stamping techniques. And then for the other two cards, I just made Thinking of You cards because those can be used for sympathy or for many other occasions. So I like the flexibility of this. We had just a simple Z-fold card, and then just talking about color combo techniques, and I created a rainbow ink stamping for that one, so that was my little take on that class. What else have we got in here? So there was a Lawn Fawn class, and actually this one, usually I find Lawn Fawn to be a fun class. This one didn't quite catch my attention as much as I thought it would. I think part of it was the color scheme. I don't know. But I left the sentiments off because I'm going to send these to a donation organization that the organization sends off cards to other organizations and bring cheer to various groups. So these ones will likely go out to a foster kids program to bring a little cheer to some foster kids. So I left the sentiments off so they could be used for anything. We have got scrapbook.com taught a class, and I used a set of sequins in this one that I had in my stash, and I hate them. I hate this color, which is why they've been sitting in my stash for so long. And when I pulled them out, I thought, oh, they'll go okay with the orange, but I hate it. So I might tear this one apart, or I don't know, I might donate it. It's definitely not my thing, and that was totally a me problem. That had nothing to do with the class, so don't judge that card. Don't judge that company based on my card. This one, however, was very fun. We created this interactive card that has this little track so that the outside of the card moves at the same time as the inside of the card. So that was a very fun little interactive technique that I've done similar things before, but nothing quite like that one. This is Spellbinders, which is one of my favorite companies. I get a lot of their products on a monthly basis, and I love the fact that they do both scrapbooking and card making. So I get some of my scrapbook supplies from them as well, and I'm happy to mix and match my card making supplies into my scrapbooking life. But this set, again, very fresh and different than any other products on the market. It was a, messy life kind of sentiments. So we've got all of these things to clean up our messy life. And these were just sweet, fun cards. This one was actually designed to just have an overlay, but I created some of the elements so that they could actually be on the separate piece on the card front, so that when the card stands up, you get more depth and dimension to the card. It's hard to see it on camera, but lots of fun. Oh, I love that one. These ones were taught by Jennifer McGuire, and this was from Pink Fresh Studio. So we got the die to create this cover plate die to create this card front shape, which we just use a partial of it on this card. But Jennifer always does wild things with her cards. We created this X-fold card with a little note card flap on the front, and of course it's completely see-through. And speaking of see-through, this one has some acetate sandwiched in between pieces for another see-through look. I was having a little bit of a hard time with the see-through stuff, so I infilled extra pieces to make it a little less see-through. But it gives me some other ideas on directions I would like to take cards. So even though this card wasn't exactly my style, it helps the ideas flow. So even when things aren't perfectly my style, I always figure out something, learn something, or I always find a way to alter it up to make it my own. So I love taking classes for that reason. I love it. And then this was using the leftovers. So that was a whirlwind. Let me come back to my face. All right, that was a whirlwind share of what I had going on in March. I may have said April at the beginning of the video because it is now April in my world. But these projects were created in March. All right, I thank you for sharing your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I just love making and I love sharing. So I will be back really soon with a watercolory goodness video for you, and I will actually be wearing the same clothes because I'm filming on the same day. I hope you will join me then for that artfulness. So I hope to see you soon.